my name is Barbie Flanagan. Thank you for joining me again. And if this is your first time, please like and subscribe. Also, hit that notification bell. In honor of Black History Month, we're going to talk about Madam C.J. Walker today. According to the Guinness Book of World Records, she is the first self made female millionaire. And there were a lot of challenges in her way, but Madam C.J. Walker did not stop until she succeeded. Madam C.J. Walker was born as Sarah Breedlove in Delta, Louisiana on December 23rd, 1867, just 4 years after the Emancipation Proclamation freed slaves. In fact, she was the only person in her family born free. Her parents were Owen and Minerva Breedlove, and she had five siblings. They all worked as sharecroppers on a Madison Parish plantation. Walker was an orphan by 6 years old. She had no schooling except for a church literacy class. At 10, she moved in with her older sister. At 14, she married Moses McWilliams to escape her sister's abusive husband. Walker's daughter, Alilia, was born in June of 1885 in Vicksburg, Mississippi. Unfortunately, Moses died in an accident a few years later. Walker married again to John Davis in 1894, but left him in 1903 for cheating. Walker hit her low point. She was a laundry washwoman, which was brutal, backbreaking work, and she was dirt poor. The stress of it all caused her hair to fall out. But one thing Walker had was faith, and she believed that God would turn things around. In 1904, Walker moved to St. Louis, where her four brothers were barbers. She learned about hair care from them. Soon Walker started selling Annie Turnbow Malone's hair products in St. Louis. Malone was a powerhouse in the hair care business. She owned the Poro Company and had 7,500 sales agents worldwide selling her great wonderful hair grower. Walker married her third husband, Charles Joseph Walker. She took his name, Madam C.J. Walker. They moved to Denver, Colorado, where she was a cook for a pharmacist. It was there that she learned about chemistry. She took that knowledge and her savings of $1.25 and launched Madam Walker's Wonderful Hair Grower. This is where the story gets twisted. Walker is accused of stealing Malone's formula. Not true. The basic hair growing formula was a mixture of petroleum and sulfur. It had been used for hundreds of years. However, each person changed it up a little bit. Walker's formula was good for curing baldness, scalp disease, and dandruff. There's no doubt that Walker benefited from the 2 years she worked for Malone. She had studied Malone's business plan and the weak points and came up with solutions to turn the Madam C.J. Walker Manufacturing Company into a major success. She created the Walker system, which included scalp treatments, lotions, and hot combs. Contrary to belief, Madam C.J. Walker did not invent straightening combs. In the late 19th century, Elroy Duncan was the first to manufacture pressing combs in America. The hot combs were even sold in Bloomingdale catalogs. Walker custom made her hair pomades, and they were effective. She also made hair growing glycine and vegetable shampoo. There were face and body products as well. But the thing that set Walker apart from the others was her husband, who was an expert advertising salesman. He got the word out about Walker's products. In 1908, she opened a factory and a beauty school in Pittsburgh. She moved the company headquarters to Indianapolis because there was a thriving Black community ready to purchase her products, and the roads made distribution easier. The Walkers divorced, but the business kept growing. At one point, Walker had 40,000 licensed beauty culturists. Walker finally got a chance to live the good life. She bought a mansion in Irvington, New York, next to the Hudson River. It was beautifully decorated and she hosted lots of parties. She had fine cars, clothes, and jewelry. She spoiled her only child, Alilia, giving her all the things she never had. Olivia spent a lot of time in a palatial townhome in Harlem, where she was heavily involved with the Harlem Renaissance. Walker commissioned the construction of the Walker Building in Indianapolis, which housed a beauty school, products, event facilities, and a theater. The building still stands today and is on the National Register of Historic Places. Walker was a philanthropist and activist. She was heavily involved with the fight against lynching. She worked with and contributed to the NAACP and the Black YWCA. She spent most of her life working as a wash lady and cook, and she was determined to create good paying jobs for women. Her businesses employed thousands of Black people who were still held back due to Jim Crow laws and segregation. She hosted conventions and training programs for women looking to change their lives. Here's one of my favorite quotes from Walker. I had to make my own living and my own opportunity, but I made it. Don't sit down and wait for the opportunities to come. Get up and make them. Walker died in 1919 from hypertension at the age of 51. She left two-thirds of all future net profits to charities and loads of money to individuals and colleges. Her daughter continued to run the business until she died in 1931. The original company closed its doors in 1981. In 1998, Madam C.J. Walker was the first African American to receive a U.S. postage stamp. Now, I really like to go back and study about my ancestors. I've had this book about 20 years. It is called The African American Century, and it is by Henry Louis Gates and Cornell West. I really love this book. I know we have the internet nowadays, but I love to go back and read about my ancestors. And when I feel depressed and like things are getting too hard, these stories really inspire me. Thank you so much for joining me. I can't wait to see you until the next time. Bye bye.